Hello everybody, look what I got. The PortalCam. So if you've seen my previous video, I talked at the end about how this new camera is a game changer in the world of Gaussian splatting and how I wish to try it, and here I have it. So I want to thank to XGRID for supporting the project that I'm working on right now, which is the movie Lustification by Leonard Leitgeb that I also mentioned in the previous video. In this weekend, I'm going to have the opportunity to work with the PortalCam because I have it only for this shoot, only for a few days. So this video is going to be just a first impression of the PortalCam, and I will show you some early tests that I did with it. And spoiler alert, I'm quite excited about it. The results are good. In the future, I'm going to upload a much in-depth video about like my workflow using the PortalCam to scan the set and how I'm going to use it also later in compositing. Thank you again, XGRID, for helping us with the project. You were like super nice. And now let me show you the first test. Okay, so I opened the first test here on Supersplat. I don't have enough time to go through the XGRID editor, their own software, because I have like one day to test everything and to make this video. So sorry if I'm a little bit rushed about it, but I just opened the PLY file here in Supersplat because I know how to use Supersplat. And this is a place in Berlin called Potsdamer Platz, and more specifically the Sony Center in Potsdamer Platz. And what I did, I just walk around with the PortalCam in circles like that around Potsdamer Platz a few times, and I walk in this kind of spiral. Wait, in this kind of spiral. Sometime I went inside here. I didn't go inside the restaurants, of course. I didn't want to, you know, interrupt anybody. So this is like just on my way. I picked up the camera, and then on my way back home I just came here and I did this quick scan, and already from like a quick scan you can see this like really high fidelity. You would see that the resolution is actually not so great. Like if you want to go and look at details, not so great, right? But also take into account that I'm rushing it a little bit because I don't have time. I know that I could get a much better result if I had more time to do more rounds and to focus on more things there and to render it for a longer time. One very cool thing here, like because I was only on ground level, I was really surprised to see that when I go up, I actually have a lot of three-dimensional definition here. Like look at this structure, for example. It's really up there. And it resolved the 3D dimensionality of it quite good. So it's just like really far away from the camera, from the PortalCam. And to get into the train station, I took one of my favorite secret passages here in Potsdamer Platz, which is like this underground passage. Wait, Supersplat, cooperate, which is this one. And I also did like this scan here, and what I did here, I just moved like from side to side in the same kind of way that I'm doing here. Now like in a zigzag pattern. And yeah, the quality is not great. It was very low light. I was surprised to see like the software and the camera just like really bumping up the light, because if you go there in real life it's quite dark. So maybe I could have tweaked a few settings there in software. Like there is a setting for a scene that has a lot of different light changes. So I think it's, if I would check this setting, that would like cancel all this like fake HDR effect that is happening here. Yeah, but hey, it's really cool. You know, it's really cool. I really like it. Is it usable for cinema, what I'm showing you right now? No, of course not. This is like a really quick test that I did on my way home without even knowing how to operate the camera. Fantastic. I really enjoy that. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so for that one, first I want to show you my best scan of my shower room before the PortalCam. I used a GoPro and I did like a few passes. I focused on one corner, one object, and then I added them together in Supersplat, and then I render it in Nuke, and this is the result. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of floaters and it looks kind of blurry, maybe like impressionistic or something, noisy, I would say. Yeah, noisy, it's a better word. Near clipping, it's okay, just like camera setting in Nuke, so ignore that. Overall, if you think, okay, I'm going to have it out of focus, you can get away with it if it's in the background or something, but actually this is unusable, right? So I was working on that scan for a few days, I think, and then like I was so frustrated and also so scared, like I'm not feeling comfortable to take a GoPro and scan and deliver something like that to a client, right? And then I took the PortalCam and I scanned the shower room, and this is the result. Check this out. Yeah, look at this. This is like crazy. Look, there is like so much detail in everything, like, and I love that it cut me from the mirror. It's not perfect, you can still see a ghosting of me, but it did quite a decent job at deleting me from the mirror. And also a very fun things to do with Gaussian splat is to go into the mirror world and then look at the real world from the mirror. And yeah, this is just super nice. I was so happy to see that, you know. So as you can see, I put the color chart here, and this is like an official Macbeth chart, so I can calibrate the colors. Because one of the things that I was afraid of is that the quality of the camera of the PortalCam maybe wouldn't be very good, so I want to see how much I can play with it. So I took this PLY file, the Gaussian splat file, and I put it in Nuke, and then I did all the color calibration and a little bit more color grading to make it look nicer. And then also what's nice in Nuke is that you can have like a depth map coming out of the Gaussian splat, and you can render with motion blur. So I animated a camera inside the shower, very similar to what I showed you before, with motion blur, with color correction, with depth of field, and this is the result. Check this out. So look, use my toilet and go up. Look, the motion blur looks nice, the depth of field looks nice. I was happy I could use the color chart to calibrate the colors, and it looks fine. And I understand there is like a lot of YouTube compression also, but I can assure you that I watched it on my 4K monitor and it looks better than what you see on YouTube. So I'm quite chuffed about all of that, and I feel much more confident now to go on the shooting day and scan the set like we planned, because compared to the huge scan I showed you before that took me a few days with a GoPro, this is like night and days. This, like, you cannot even compare the two. And let's go into the mirror world. Always fun with Gaussian splatting. Yeah, so what can I say? I'm like really happy with the result. And like one thing that I noticed is like rendering, the processing with the PortalCam and with the LCC, the software that they provide, takes much longer because it does like multi-slam. It's not only one slam algorithm that is happening there. It's like combining a few slams together. And if I understand correctly, it's quite intense computationally. So it takes longer, like 3 times, even 4 times longer than just doing it regularly if you were to do it with GoPro or some other camera without LiDAR sensor. But the result really worth it. So after doing the shower room, which was a very good test because the set that I'm going to scan is also very small, I decided, okay, let's try to scan my whole apartment. So let's look at my apartment now. Okay, so for this test, I knew it's going to be like a huge scan because I really took a lot of time to scan every little detail in my apartment, and I was running out of time. So in LCC, the software that they provide, I chose like the quick solve. So what you can see here actually can be much better if I had much more time, like to run it overnight or even for like 1.5 days. I don't know. Yeah, here is my balcony, and you can see all my nice plants. The monstera here looks quite good. And as you can see, yeah, it has a lot of errors. Well, not errors, let's say noise or some dirtiness into it. But I think it's mostly because I was rushing the solve, you know. I believe that with some time I can run it again and it will look much better. So that's my nice balcony, and here is the bedroom. And my nerdy filmmaking desk. There's some coffee and tea. And this is what it's actually used for a lot of time, for real estate, you know, to scan apartments, to put them on some real estate sites. Look at this plant here. You can see every single leaf three-dimensionally. When I tried to scan this plant before with a GoPro or something without a LiDAR sensor, I was never able to get like the amount of details. Also, this fake plant looks nice. Yeah, okay. Now we go back to the shower over here. So this is what we saw before. And you can compare between this and the previous one. For example, this plant here is very dirty. But what I showed you before is much, much better. And not only because I took more time in the shower in the previous scan, but because also I use like higher settings in the solve, in the software they provide. But whoa, man, you can really like, yeah, you see the mirror is completely whacked out because of that. And you see it also deleted me from this mirror and from that mirror, which is really nice. And another cool thing that you can do is to jump to this mirror and to get out of this mirror. And this is how you have like real portals at home. You know, like if you played Portal, the video game, it's like when I did that for the first time, I was like, oh my god, I have portals, real portals now in my home. It's like so much fun. I can do it for the whole day. Okay, so this is my kitchen. And by the way, I'm a clean person, so I didn't clean it only for the scan. My apartment usually looks like that. Oop, what was that? Yeah, and you can see everything here is really nice. So that's really cool. I really like that. I can do it forever. It's like being in a computer game in your own house. It's like, what more do you want in life, right? Oh my god, that's so much fun. And let's see what's behind this mirror. Oh, can get all the way to the window here. And let's go back. Can I get to the other mirror? Yeah, and let's jump from this mirror and to that mirror. And here it's like the mirror kitchen. And that's the real kitchen, that's the entrance. Let's see, did it get my rollerblades? Here are my beloved rollerblades under the chair. Yeah, okay, I can continue the whole night, but I have a shooting day tomorrow, so let's continue. This is just like what I told you. First impression, working with the camera, putting it in Nuke, rendering it out, see if I like the result or not. And when you take the time, when you do it very slowly, when you take the time to solve it with the slow settings, the results are good. I will keep you posted. There is going to be a more in-depth video about all of that, and I will share with you behind the scene footage from the set, and we go through the entire process of making this splat. Hopefully I will have a lot of behind the scene footage to share with you, so we can also see from outside how to capture everything and how to put it in Nuke, how to use it as a volumetric plate, how to match it with a foreground camera that we are going to track, because the actors are going to be on a green screen. We're going to have a moving camera, we're going to track the camera and put the splat behind them. So we're going to match the two cameras, we're going to render everything, and then we're going to deliver it. It's going to be a long-term series. The project, the post-production, I think it's going to end maybe next year. So stay tuned, there are going to be many more videos, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.